Leaving Earth to discover new homes in space is an old human desire that will eventually be crucial for our existence. The planet that receives the greatest attention is Mars, a small, poisonous, and energy-starved world that appears to be suitable for a colony of despondent humans huddled in underground cities. But what if we think big? What if we turn Venus, one of the solar system's most hostile and dangerous regions, into a colony? Venus is sometimes even called the sister planet of Earth. They share the same composition, with a rocky mantle and an iron core at the center, and are about the same size, mass, and gravity. Sadly, that is where the similarities end. Venus is by far the hottest planet in our solar system, with a surface temperature of 460 degrees Celsius, which is hot enough to melt lead. Carbon dioxide is excellent at trapping heat, and Venus's atmosphere has 97% carbon dioxide. Its surface is covered in poisonous gases. Additionally, Venus's atmosphere is 93 times denser than Earth's. Standing on Venus's surface would be like diving around 900 meters into the ocean. The pressure would kill you immediately. Venus, if properly terraformed, might be the most comfortable location to live outside of Earth. Even if we can't exactly terraform Venus right now, we could attempt this endeavor in the future if we were a little more bold. It will be extremely difficult and take several generations to finish, much like our ancestors' construction of the enormous pyramids. However, it's not as though people have never begun tasks that will take a lifetime to finish. All right, come on, let's do it. For more than 50 years, astronomers and scientists have been formulating theories about how to terraform Venus. Venus's atmosphere and temperature are the two main problems that still need to be resolved. We must first cool Venus and expel the gas that makes up its extraordinarily dense atmosphere. It is plentiful, as was previously said, 465 million billion tons, roughly. How are we going to do that? There are several choices. We could build enormous solar collectors that would power an enormous array of laser beams, heating the atmosphere to the point where it is propelled into space. Even then, it would take thousands of times the world's power generation capacity and take thousands of years. Another option is to modify Venus's atmosphere by bombarding it with hydrogen. Hydrogen bombs would produce graphite and water when they reacted with atmospheric carbon dioxide. This would descend to the planet's surface, resulting in oceans covering 80% of it. They wouldn't be quite as deep as the oceans on Earth, though. Venus's water content would be only 10% of Earth's. It would need a lot of hydrogen to do this. We would have to extract the resource from Jupiter or Saturn if we were to obtain sufficient amounts. Additionally, this method would need iron aerosol, which can be extracted from asteroids. The dense carbon dioxide atmosphere would only be 3 times as heavy as Earth's if everything went as planned. This would aid in eliminate the sulfuric acid clouds, which covers the planet. So, the atmosphere is clear. What about the temperature? Sunscreen is one tool for cooling the surface. A group of tiny spacecraft or a single big lens that would bend the sun's rays. The planet's surface or atmosphere could be covered with these solar blinds, which would gradually cool the planet and lessen radiation. Another problem that would need to be fixed before humans began to live on Venus. In addition to solar blinds, NASA believes we may create floating cities above the clouds of Venus. These would serve as a safe living space as we learned and tried to terraform the environment. Cooling pipelines might be placed on the planet's surface to expedite the process and further cool the planet. Heat would be drawn up through these pipes from the surface and into the cooler regions of the atmosphere. Although we currently enjoy a decent atmosphere, a comfortable temperature, and clean air, there is one major problem that humans might encounter if they relocated to Venus. They'd have extremely long days and nights since, once every 243 Earth days, Venus revolves. That means there are 5,800 hours in a day on Venus. In addition, it is the only planet in our solar system to rotate in a clockwise direction. Therefore, sunrises and sunsets occur in the east and west, respectively. We may use large mirrors that revolve to reflect the sun in order to give the appearance of a 24-hour day cycle. Venus would feel exactly like home, if all went according to plan, maybe with a little bit less gravity. Following all of this, Venus would become habitable. Sure, the planet would rotate differently, and you'd have a different view of the sun, but it could be another home for people. Scientists believe it might become a backup planet one day. We might learn something about Earth from researching Venus further. Venus's intense greenhouse effect is the reason for its high temperatures and thick atmosphere. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like, subscribe, and leave a comment.